Xin chào, tôi là Caroline Boisvert, nhưng mà tiếng Việt hoặc tiếng Anh họ nói Boisvert. Tôi là ca sĩ, họa sĩ, nghệ sĩ và tôi cũng dạy tiếng Anh cho trẻ con. Tôi sở thích của tôi là để viết sáng tác bài hát, chơi fingerstyle guitar, chơi mấy nhạc cụ của Việt Nam, và vẽ nữa, vẽ bằng dấu và acrylic. Có rất nhiều sở thích, và chụp ảnh, đi du lịch quanh Việt Nam khi có thời gian.
Greeting from Chiang Vietnam on VTC10 Net Viet. I'm Văn Hiệp. So in today's program, we'll bring you a very interesting story about one Canadian lady with Vietnam's musical instruments. May I introduce to you the guest of our program today, Caroline Boisvert. Thank you very much, Caroline, for joining our program today.
Thank you, my pleasure.
So Caroline, you have been staying here in Vietnam for nearly 10 years. So let me ask you initially, what has brought you here to Vietnam?
Because I went to Paris before, and after that I wanted to go live in another country. And in Paris, it was hard to find a job. But then I met somebody who was coming to Vietnam, and then when I saw the pictures, I read about Vietnam and Laos and Cambodia, and then I was interested, and I felt something in common with Vietnam. So I had an opportunity when I had this guy coming here, and almost 2 years after he came, I came here, and then I met teachers, and I stayed in Hanoi a long time, and I just fell in love with the country. And the French were there before, so I had a mix of a little bit with the architecture, something from Paris or France, and something from the jungle, tropical climate in Asia. So everything was there to charm me, if I could say that. Charm me. And then I had to come back later. I thought, people say you can stay here and work, and I'm an artist, and I wanted to stay and be inspired by a place where I'm living, so I came here, and I'm still here.
So this time, let me ask you, what can you say about the music in Vietnam?
Music in Vietnam, there's so many instruments, so many things. I like that. I really like them. They have like đàn mới here, the flutes, đàn bầu, and tapluk. They have something very simple, very but joyful, and I like the old instruments because they have this kind of feeling that you hear that and you are plunged into a special mood, a special feeling that is really typical for Vietnam, and I don't want that to disappear. I think my idea, and probably other musicians' idea, is to use those instruments and make music for maybe more modern music, but still it's hard to make too modern, but use that because for me, I think I'm looking for a happy sound, for something natural, something really beautiful to my ears, and I was really tempted to buy many different kinds of instruments. So I had flutes, I have different things.
So you have a collection of Vietnam's musical instruments. So don't you mind if we ask you to introduce those musical instruments to me and to the TV viewers?
Thank you. I will. This is a đàn tarun. It's called. We have something. Well, we don't really have that in Canada. I bought that in Van Mio, and I really love the sound because when you go to Van Mio Temple, you can hear the people play the traditional music, and they had this too and for sale, and I bought that. I really like that because I like fun music, and it reminds me of the something from the woods and happy sound. You have two different sticks. This one is like half. I like to play. We can play on out maybe. I like the way they play the percussion with cashew music, but right now I'm not a good example. So that's my instruments for here, and I have danbo. Danbo is very special to Vietnam. Like a harp, but at the same time you can change the sound and you can make different ones.
So Caroline, we have just seen you playing the zither and the danbo. So can you share more with us about the music or the tunes that you have just played?
Well, I was improvising before because I don't know I don't know any piece of music. There was one I wanted to learn, but I didn't have time enough. But yes, I like for my taste. I really love improvising, and depending on the mood you are, and if you are inspired that day or that night, just like to go and like tapluk. You go there and you just do the notes, and it's a really happy feeling. When the first time I played, it was like not in chord, not tuned up, but often when it's not tuned up, it's like you find new sounds and then you play, and then there's something special there. I just love that. Like the guitar too. Sometimes you don't always play on the mi, si, and the same notes. You can tune your bass, the different strings on the guitar, and then you have a different sound, different inspiration. Danbo is really, it's harder for me when you don't know how to use all the notes. Right now I'm just learning, like okay, I'm doing the notes, I can find the sound, but I need a bit more time to go and where is the do, where is the la when I play, and read to be able to play some music from Vietnam.
And I'm wondering, you're learning those instruments by yourself, or with the instruction from someone else?
The people, when you buy, they can help you and they show you where you have to play on the strings. And I had one lesson for the dan chang with the technique, but I got lost. I couldn't follow after that because I didn't have time. You have to learn techniques, but sometimes it's annoying, because you want you want to play freely and try things. So now I am in my exploration time, trying, and because I think you can learn at school, but if you don't try by yourself first. Maybe you can find other things that people didn't find before, or your own style or something. It makes it more interesting.
You have a collection of Vietnam's traditional musical instruments. So let me ask you, what is the meaning of those musical instruments to you?
The meaning for me, there's something about Vietnam. The first time I came here, I fell in love. I felt like it was my home, like maybe I lived there before in another life or something. When I hear those instruments, it's like I'm plunged into those memories of where I see the rice field and people wearing aozai and the mountain. There's something very common with me, maybe the child heart. Vietnam, for me, you go and there's a lot of grottos in the mountains. For me, it's like a heaven for children, like heaven, but you go there and you hear the music, you're transported there immediately. It's really, you don't need to play a lot. You hear those sounds, you're in nature, and nature in me is the same. I really love trees, I really love land and water and woods, and it's really this kind of mystery in there. I love mystery. It's mysterious, and it also goes with the temples. Everything that touches temples here, it touches me. It makes everything more, how do you say, special or.
And after you have mastered the skills of playing those musical instruments, do you have any intention to publicize your performance?
Why not? I think not many foreigners can play already, so it would be very interesting. Play the tapluk. I think it's really it would add something original to my music, or anybody who can play that. I have a friend who can play the danbo, and people are surprised when he plays. I think it's something special that I want to show if I can.
And we are all looking forward to your public performance with the Vietnam's musical instruments, for example, the danbo or the zither. And don't forget to remind us of your performance. If you have
Thank you. I will.
And thank you much, Caroline, for joining our program today and for your interesting sharing.
Thank you very much.
And with that, we have to wrap up our program for today. For comment and feedback, don't hesitate to write to us at shangvietnam@netviettv.net. We hope that you enjoyed the program as we did for today. And before we go, let's have a seat and enjoy the last moment with Caroline playing the zither.